Have you ever gone above and beyond for a total stranger? I was driving home late one night after a double shift at the hospital. Being an ER nurse means I've seen my share of emergencies, but this one wasn't in my workplace. It was on a deserted stretch of highway around 2 a.m. I spotted a car pulled over with hazard lights blinking. As I approached, I could see someone frantically waving their arms. My first instinct was caution. Late night, middle of nowhere, but something about the desperation in those movements made me slow down. I pulled over about 20 feet behind them and left my headlights on, illuminating the scene. A man in his 30s stood there, panic etched across his face. Behind him, I could see a woman in the passenger seat, doubled over. "Please help! My wife, she's in labor!" he shouted as I approached. The woman was making the unmistakable sounds of someone in active labor. I've assisted with deliveries before, but always with doctors and equipment nearby. "I'm a nurse," I said, already reaching for my phone. "Let me call an ambulance." "We already did," he replied, voice shaking. "They said 20 minutes. I don't think we have that long." I checked the woman, Sarah was her name, and realized he was right. The baby was coming now. "How far apart are the contractions?" I asked. "Less than a minute," Sarah gasped, gripping the door handle so hard her knuckles were white. I made a quick decision. "My car has more room in the back. Let's move her there." Between contractions, we helped Sarah into my back seat. I had a first aid kit and some supplies from work in my trunk. Not delivery equipment, but better than nothing. "I'm James," the husband said, clutching his wife's hand. "This is our first baby." "I'm Mia," I replied, trying to sound calmer than I felt. "I've assisted with deliveries before. You're in good hands." Sarah screamed as another contraction hit. "I need to push," she cried. I checked again and saw the baby's head was crowning. There was no time for hospitals or ambulances. "Okay, Sarah, on the next contraction, I need you to push," I instructed, positioning myself at the end of the seat. James looked terrified. "Is this safe? Should we wait?" "Your baby has other plans," I said with a reassuring smile I didn't entirely feel. The next few minutes were intense. I talked Sarah through pushing while simultaneously preparing the minimal supplies I had. I used hand sanitizer liberally, laid out clean towels from my gym bag, and kept checking both mother and baby's progress. "One more big push, Sarah," I encouraged as the shoulders began to emerge. With a final determined effort, Sarah pushed, and suddenly I was holding a tiny, slippery newborn girl. The baby gave a strong cry almost immediately, the most beautiful sound in that moment. I wrapped her in my cleanest sweatshirt and handed her to Sarah, who was crying and laughing simultaneously. "She's perfect," James whispered, tears streaming down his face. We heard sirens in the distance. The ambulance arrived 5 minutes later, and the paramedics took over, cutting the cord properly and checking both mother and baby. "You did an amazing job," one of them told me. "Not many people would have stopped, let alone delivered a baby on the side of the road." I followed the ambulance to the hospital to give my account to the doctors and make sure they were okay. Before they were wheeled away for proper postnatal care, Sarah reached for my hand. "We've been discussing names for months," she said, "but I think we just decided. Meet Mia James Wilson." I visited them the next day, bringing a small teddy bear. They'd moved to town recently and had no family nearby, so I checked in on them regularly in the following weeks. 3 years later, I'm little Mia's godmother.